Is it an absence of sound or something deeper and more profound? Or is what's left unsaid more important than what is spoken out loud? While these thoughts can be pondered on multiple levels, leading to a variety of interpretations, the most significant of these questions is the reason for the silence in the first place, specifically as a response to trauma. Accordingly, muteness as a response to trauma may be literal, as seen in the example of Patrona from Ingrid Rojas Contreras' 2018 novel Fruit of the Drunken Tree, or it may be figurative, as portrayed by George Jones' emotional silence in Ted Demme's 2001 film Blow. Specifically, these two characters, Patrona and George, both come from backgrounds of extreme poverty and the associated instability and suffering that results from being born and raised in stricken, marginalized communities. This lack of socioeconomic security laid the foundation for a feeling of shame and lack, resulting in Patrona's muteness in the face of elitism. Similarly, George's precocious upbringing creates a sense of instability within him at an early age. This means that he never fully learns how to deal with his feelings, resulting in emotional silence and an inability to fully process his feelings when he experiences a sense of loss or regret. Therefore, while the idea of the significance of loss is woven through both the novel and film, the text creators make very different choices with regards to characterization in order to depict this theme. Specifically, when Patrona comes to work for Chula's family, she has already been silenced by years of being an impoverished female in a status-conscious patriarchal society. Thereby, Patrona's silence stems from being born into a society that suppresses the voices of the vulnerable, the traumatized, the expendable. Patrona is selectively mute because her perspective was never valued, even within her own family. She is silent because she was never taught that no one, not even her own mother, values the voice of a girl who is not even good at watching children, and whose only prospect is cleaning for rich families. Contreras 21. In other words, Patrona's silence starts with being diminished within her own family and naturally transfers to her interactions in every area of her life, since she's ingrained with the notion that she is inherently lesser. As well, Patrona's selective muteness functions to protect her from further trouble for herself and Chula's family. She is already poor and marginalized and knows that saying the wrong thing in the wrong tone may cost her her position while reinforcing socioeconomic stereotypes about her kind. In contrast, George's silence is not literal, but is emotional in nature. While there are few scenes where he ceases to physically speak, a cloak of emotional silence pervades the instances where he experiences loss and separation from his family. This emotional numbness does not stem from familiar or societal expectations like Patrona's does, but is rather in response to the pain of disappointing those closest to him. For example, after George's emotional-filled goodbye to his father on tape when he utters, "May the wind always be at your back," 1:53:04. He is overcome with emotional paralysis as he didn't understand his father's lesson that family is the most important thing in life until it was too late. As well, George's silent state, his contemplation mirrors his angst that he is imprisoned and thereby unable to see his father on his deathbed. Moreover, unlike Petrona, George's silence does not function as a protective shield or response to inequality, but instead reflects his inner turmoil and feelings of regret. He is mute, lost in a memory, and stunned into emotional paralysis at the end of the film, when he imagines that he sees his daughter as a grown woman. Overcome with remorse that he broke his promise to take his daughter on vacation, George drowns in his recollections of the past, blurring fantasies and reality. While appearing emotionally numb and withdrawn due to his feelings of shame and inadequacy, while he is still able to interact verbally with those around him, his inner trauma creates a type of emotional incapacity that renders him helpless.